with this, chapter number 10, The Sermon at Banaras by Betty Renstow. Now, before I start with the chapter, a brief introduction about the author. Betty Renstow was an American writer. She was born on October 2, 1921 in Renstow family, and she died on April 30, 1999 at the age of 77, right? Now, Sermon at Banaras is the story of an unfortunate woman, Kisa Gautami, right? The story is taken from an extract of Lord Buddha. We all know Lord Buddha, right? We have heard about him. There are many stories, many incidents related to Lord Buddha. This one story is from Lord Buddha's, great. The incident is from his doings, his generosity, is showing the path to the people. The incident belonged to Lord Buddha's era, where he did a lot to the people. He did a lot for the people, for their peace, for their satisfaction, the contentment of the soul. He did a lot for the people. So now, Sermon at Banaras is the story of this unfortunate woman, Kisa Gautami, who belonged to the era of Lord Buddha, and how Lord Buddha showed her the path when she was really in difficulty. That is all about, right? Aditya, is the screen visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Please start reading.
The Sermon at Banaras throws light upon the early life of Lord Buddha, who was originally born as a prince in the royal family. On being exposed to the sufferings of the world which he was earlier shielded from, he left his princehood and went in search of salvation, thus leaving all the worldly pleasures behind. Upon attaining spiritual awakening, he gave his first sermon in the city of Banaras, hereby making a lady named Kisa Gautami realize that men are mortal and a wise person should not grieve at what is bound to happen, for it only enhances pain and suffering.
Okay. Now, one thing. First of all, can anybody tell me what is the meaning of the word sermon? Sermon. What is the meaning of the word sermon? Who can tell me? Tell me fast, 10th class, what is sermon? Have you ever heard this word?
Ma'am,
Sorry, I didn't get it. Please repeat. Tenth class. Nobody knows the meaning of this word.
Kartik.
बेटा ये कौन बोल रहा है? आपकी आवाज टेक्निकल इशू है शायद कुछ. आई एम नॉट एबल टू गेट योर साउंड. somebody else.
Kartik.
बोलिए बेटा.
मतलब कि religious talks kind of.
Yes, sermon is a talk usually given by a monk or a religious person. Basically, it's on morals and religions, right? So, sermon, we can say it's altogether different from a lecture. It's not a normal lecture which your guardians, your parents, or your teachers we give. Sermon is related to your religious talks, right? It is related to morals and values. So the words of sermon cannot be used in a negative way. It is just in the context of religion. Am I clear what a sermon is? Okay. Now, as in the introduction, we have read that the story belonged to the era of Lord Buddha. Now, first, let's recap about Lord Buddha. Have you people studied Buddhism in history? Buddhism आप सबने history में पढ़ा होगा बेटा. Now, Buddhism, Lord Buddha, he was a prince by the name of Siddhartha, and he lived in his kingdom. Once it happened that the prince came out of his kingdom and he was exposed to the various phases of human life. That is, the birth of a child. When he saw a child was born, there was a celebration going on. Further, he moved in his chariot and he find that there was a marriage procession going on. So we understand that when a little child is born, he grows up and then he gets married, right? And then finally, after the marriage procession, he moves on further. He finds that there he finds an old man crossing the street who is very old, who is not able to walk, he's helpless, and at the end he finds a dead man, means a funeral procession. A dead body was taken away by four people on their shoulders. So that was a changing moment for Lord Buddha. When he was exposed to these sufferings of the world, he realized that what life is, and thereby he gave up his royal life which he was leading. He left his princehood and he went in search of salvation, right? Thus leaving all the worldly pleasures behind. So upon attaining spiritual awakening, he gave his first sermon in the city of Banaras. So his first religious lecture was given in the holy city of Banaras, here by making a lady named Kisa Gautami. So Kisa Gautami was a sufferer. She was in a very bad condition at that time. He gave his first sermon to Kisa Gautami at that time, helped her, and realized that men are mortal and a wise person should not grieve at what is bound to happen, for it only enhances pain and suffering. So let's start with the chapter now. I'm not reading the summary. I'm straight away coming to the explanation. Aditya, you may please continue.
Gautam Buddha began life as a prince named Siddhartha Gautam in northern India. At 12, he was sent away for schooling in the Hindu sacred scriptures, and 4 years later, he returned home to marry a princess. They had a son and lived for 10 years as befitted royalty. At about age of 25, the prince, heretofore shielded from the sufferings of the world, while out hunting, chanced upon a sick man, then an aged man.
You may continue, please.
Then a funeral procession, and finally a monk begging for alms. These sights so moved him that he at once went out into the world to seek enlightenment concerning the sorrows he had witnessed.
Okay, now this is again about Gautam Buddha. As I told you, Gautam Buddha as a prince named Siddhartha Gautam who lived in North India. At a very small age of 12, he was sent to school in the Hindu sacred to learn Hindu sacred scriptures, and 4 years later he returned home to marry a princess. Right, so he was a royal person. He was a prince. He had a son. He got married also. He had a son and lived for 10 years as befitted royalty. Means as a royal prince, he spent a life full of luxury for 10 years. At about the age of 25, the prince heretofore shielded from the sufferings of the world. While out hunting, chanced upon a sick man, an aged man, and a funeral procession. So this is what I have already told you: a sick, an aged, a funeral procession, and finally a monk begging for alms. So, and finally he also met a monk, right? We understand who a monk is, again a religious person who was begging for money or food given. Alms here refers to the money or the food he was asking for. The monk was begging for all these things. So these sights moved him so much that he made up his mind to look for the enlightenment, to be away from the sufferings of the world, concerning the sorrows he had witnessed. Right? Let's move on. Please continue.
He wandered for 7 years and finally sat down under a peepal tree.
It's wandered.
He wandered for 7 years and finally sat down under a peepal tree, where he vowed to stay until enlightenment came. Enlightened after 7 days, he remained the tree of Bodhi tree of wisdom, and began to teach and to share his new understandings. At that point, he became known as Buddha, the awakened or the enlightened. The Buddha preached his first sermon at the city of Banaras, most holy of the dipping places on the river Ganges. That ceremony had been preserved and is given here. It reflects the Buddha wisdom about one inscrutable kind of suffering.
Now, he wandered for 7 years and finally sat down under a peepal tree that we all know. So, when he was moved by this sight of the sufferings of humans, he went in search of salvation and he sat under a peepal tree. For 7 days, he kept sitting there and he was just busy in taking the name of the God. So, 7 days later, when he opened his eyes, he realized that he was enlightened. He had a new knowledge, he had new wisdom by God's grace, right? So then he started to teach and share his understandings because then he was known as Buddha. Buddha means the awakened one, as he sat under the Bodhi tree also. His name became Buddha. The Buddha then preached his first sermon at the city of Banaras. As I told you, Banaras is a holy city and it is dipping places on the river Ganges. River Ganga is there in Banaras. So that sermon has been preserved and is given there. So his first sermon is preserved and is given there. It reflects Buddha's wisdom about the inscrutable kind of suffering. Inscrutable here refers to something which cannot be understood. So the sufferings of the world is very difficult for man to understand and to get away from it. Very few people are able to do that. So that is the story how he preached, how he gave his first sermon at Banaras and what impact it created upon that person. Please continue. Just a second. Yes, you have to start from Kisa Gautami.
Kisa Gautami had an only son and he died. In her grief, she carried the dead child to all her neighbors, asking them for medicine, and the people said, "She has lost her senses. The boy is dead." At length, Kisa Gautami met a man who replied to her request, "I cannot give the medicine for thy child, but I know a physician who can." And the girl said, "Pray tell me, sir, who is it?" And the man replied, "Go to Sakyamuni, the Buddha." Kisa Gautami repaired to the Buddha and cried, "Lord and Master, give me the medicine that will cure my boy."
Now, this is a story. The first sermon of Gautam Buddha was given to a lady known as Kisa Gautami. Kisa Gautami had only one son and her only child died, right? Her child was ill and he died. Now, Kisa Gautami was so much grief stricken, she was not able to bear that pain, right? So somewhere she started behaving like a mad person. She didn't even did the funeral of her son. She carried the dead child in her arms from one door to another, asking for medicines, right? People tried to make her understand that the boy was dead, but Kisa Gautami didn't believe any of them, right? She still believed that her child was alive. She has lost her senses, right? Now, everybody told her that Kisa Gautami, that his son was dead, but she didn't. Just give me a second, please. There is some error. Tenth class, is the screen visible to you people?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, as I told you, Kisa Gautami has lost her senses because she has lost her only child. Her only son was dead. So carrying the dead body of the child, she moved from one door to another, right? And then she met a man who replied to her request. She asked for medicine, she asked for anything from everybody so that her child would wake up, right? Now, then she meets a person, and this man tells him that I know a physician who can actually solve your trouble, right? The man said, go to Sakya Muni, the Buddha. Go to Buddha. Kisa Gautami repaired to Buddha. So Kisa Gautami ran to Buddha and she told her problem to Gautam Buddha. Now, how does Buddha takes up this problem? How he resolves her issue? It was a big pain for her. She was not able to bear that pain, right? So how he brings that woman out of her pain? How he brings that woman to her senses back? That is all in the sermon. Let's continue further. Just a moment, please. Okay. Please continue, Aditya.
The Buddha answered, I want a handful of mustard seed. And when the girl in her joy promised to procure it, the Buddha added, the mustard seed must be taken from a house where no one had lost a child, husband, parent, or friend. Just as the man said, Gautama Buddha had a solution. He asked,
Okay. Now, the Buddha answered when Kisa Gautami approached Gautam Buddha. Gautam Buddha just told her, okay, I have the solution to cure your son. I will make him alive. But what you have to do is you have to go to few houses and you have to bring mustard seeds. You all know what mustard is? It is an edible product which is generally used in food at home also, in various vegetables also we use mustard, right? Mustard oil is also used for cooking. So he told her to bring mustard seeds, but one condition was there. He told her that you have to bring a handful of mustard seeds, but you have to bring those mustard seeds from a house where nobody has lost a child, husband, parent, or friend, right? Means the owner of the house, the people living in the house, they should not have lost a child, parent, mother, or a friend. They would have not, nobody should have died in their family. None of the relatives, not even friends, should have been died, right? That was the condition. So from that house, you have to bring a handful of mustard seeds. That was there. That was his condition. Now, Kisa Gautami, she had this hope. It was now that somebody was showing her the hope that his son would be alive again, right? So in order to have mustard seeds, she started moving from one house to another. Let's continue.
poor Kisa Gautami now went from house to house, and the people pitied her and said, here is mustard seed, take it. But when she asked, did a son or daughter, a father or mother die in your family? They answered her, alas, the living are few, but the dead are many. Do not remind us of our deepest grief. And there was no house, but some beloved one had died in it.
So poor Kisa Gautami, she moved from one house to another. She asked for mustard seed. People readily, they were there to help her. They offered her, they gave her the mustard seeds. But when she questioned them, that has somebody died in your family, a parent, a child, or a friend, they replied that somebody or the other, the living are few, but the dead were many. And they told her not to recall their deepest grief. Obviously, we all know death is a fact of life, right? There cannot be any house who have not lost anybody. One day, any human person who has taken birth, any living person who has taken birth on this earth will one day surely die. The number of years may vary, the reasons of death may vary, but death is for sure to come. So there was no house where there was nobody dead, right? So Kisa Gautami was again helpless. Please continue. Kisa Gautami became weary and hopeless.
Kisa Gautami became weary and hopeless and sat down at the wayside watching the lights of the city, as they flickered up and were extinguished again. At last the darkness of the night reigned everywhere, and she considered the fate of men. Then their lives flicker up and are extinguished again. And she thought to herself, how selfish am I in my grief? Death is common to all. Yet in this valley of desolation, there is a path that leads him to immortality, who has surrendered all selfishness.
So Kisa Gautami became weary and hopeless. Now again she was hopeless because there was no house from where she could get mustard seeds, from a house where nobody had died till now, right? Now, at last, the darkness of the night reigned everywhere, and she considered the fate of men, and their lives flicker up and are extinguished again. So, she understood the reality of life, the harsh reality of life, that one day every person has to die. All living men are mortal, means they are subjected to death one day. And this is a harsh reality which everyone has to face. So, how selfish am I in my grief? She understood that how selfish she was in her grief. So death is common to all, yet in this valley of desolation, there is path that leads him to immortality, who has surrendered all selfishness. So she understood here that she became conscious as to how selfish she had been in her sorrow, and that one who has born must rest eternally. Men are mortal, and the ones that are immortals have covered a path free from all worldly pleasures. I hope I'm clear till this point.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Chale, let's move on. Aditya, please read out this stanza.
The Buddha said, the life of mortals in this world is troubled and brief and combined with pain. For there is not any means by which those that have been born can avoid dying. After reaching old age, there is death. Of such a nature are living beings. As ripe fruits are early in danger of falling, so mortals when born are always in danger of death. As all earthen vessels made by the potter end in being broken, so in the life of mortals, both young and adult, both those who are fools and those who are wise, all fall into the power of death, all are subject to death.
Okay, the Buddha said the life of mortals in this world is troubled and grief combined with pain. So then that was a time when Kisa Gautami came back to Gautam Buddha. She realized her that she was so much deep digged into grief that she was not able to realize the reality of life, right? So, and that was the point when Buddha gave his first sermon. He said that the life of the mortals in this world is troubled, right? And grief and combined with pain. There is pain, there is suffering in the life of the mortals. Mortals here, he is referring to humans basically. So, for there is not any means by which those that have been born can avoid dying. Nobody can avoid dying. One day death has to come, that is for sure. So after reaching old age, there is death. Of such a nature are living beings. As ripe fruits are early in danger of falling, so mortals when born are always in danger of death. Just like fruits when get ripe, they drop down. Simply, humans when they become old, they are more subjected to death. As all earthen vessels made by the potter end in being broken, so is life of mortals. Both young and adult, both those who are fools and who are wise, means everybody, irrespective of their qualities, their wisdom, their foolishness, their beauty, their caste, their community, these people, they are subjected to death, and all fall into the power of death. All are subjected to death, means one day everybody has to die. That was what Gautam Buddha explained or preached to Kisa Gautami. Let's continue further this stanza. Last stanza, I believe it is.
Of
No, we
those
have more also. Please continue.
Of those who, overcome by death, depart from life, a father cannot save his son, nor kinsman, their relations. Mark, while relatives are looking on and lamenting deeply, one by one mortals are carried off, like an ox that is led to the slaughter. So the word is afflicted with death and decay. Therefore, the wise do not grieve, knowing the terms of the world.
Okay. So, of those who overcome by death, depart from life. So, The only way death works is withdrawing the person from the living world. Means what death brings, that the person would depart from the world. That is what death does. The person ceases to exist. The person stops existing. There is no existence of that man who dies. Right? The person who is dead cannot be seen or heard again. So no one has control over death. Neither a father can save his son, nor a kinsman his relative. So nobody can save a dead one. Just like an ox is taken to the slaughterhouse to be killed, so does death do with mortals. Ox goes slaughterhouse. Slaughterhouse is basically the where the animal is slaughtered or the killed, right? So just like the ox is taken to the slaughterhouse, so that is what death does to the mortals also. Thus, the one who knows this truth and doesn't grieve at his loss is the one who has been called wise by Buddha. What basically Buddha was preaching here was that death is a reality of life. You cannot escape from it. So there is no point grieving about it. There is no point crying about it. There is no point losing your senses about it, because you have to understand this reality of life. That is what Gautam Buddha is preaching here. As a saint, it was very easy perhaps for him because he has attained that much wisdom that he understood these things. But for common people, for worldly people like Kisa Gautami, it was difficult to understand. So to make her understand this thing, this reality, that was what he did. He asked Kisa Gautami to go and bring handful of mustard seeds, and that too from a house where nobody had died ever. They had not lost any friend, any parent, any child, or any relative, and that was impossible. So, but with this, Kisa Gautami realized that it was happening everywhere. That's a harsh reality of humans. So she was able to come out of her grief. Please continue this stanza.
Less than 1 minute is left.
Less than 1 minute is left. Okay, we'll stop here. Tomorrow I'm going to continue from this chapter only, not from weeping, not from grieving. Yahan se start karenge beta. I hope the story is clear till this point. Any doubt anybody is having? Aditya,